Like if I graph y equals, okay, here is my graph. Where is the y-axis intercepting the line? At what number? 3. Here's the y-axis right here at 3. It's intercepting the line. Okay. What about here? Where is the y-axis intercepting the line? It's at 1. Okay. So wherever the line hits the y-axis, that is called the y-intercept. Catching it right there on the y-axis. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. I am going to put a bunch of different lines up here. Okay. So how about 2x plus 1, y equals 2x plus 3, y equals 2x minus 1. Okay. Here are a bunch of different lines. Are you looking up here? Okay. Here are the equations. The blue line is 2x plus 3. The red line is 2x plus 1. The green line is 2x minus 1. And the purple line is 2x minus 2. What are some things you notice? For what? The y-intercept? Okay, so we have different y-intercepts, right? All of these are hitting the y-axis at the same place. What else do you notice? Oh, so he's noticing whatever the plus number is, that's where it's hitting the y-axis. Is there anything that's the same about those graphs? Okay, so these all have 2x right here, right? Do you think that means anything? You know what I noticed? That these lines are all parallel. That's what you said? I just couldn't hear Bray. She was being timid. Okay, so why do you think they're all parallel? What is a feature about each line? Okay, what do you think that 2 is doing? Okay, so how about I do this? So I'm going to put in the line y equals 1/2 x plus 2. And I'm going to put in the line y equals -3x plus 2. And I'm going to put in the line y equals, how about 4x plus 2? Okay. What's the same about these lines? They all intercept the y-axis at 2, but what's making them different? Okay. Do you think there's something special with these numbers and how the line looks? What's the only one falling up there? From left to right, what's the only one that's falling? Red. So, oh. So what might this number represent? What's down or up? Yeah, but what's positive? What's negative? The slope. Look at this. This black line, I can go up 1/2, up 1/2, up. The slope is 1/2. Look at the blue. I can go up 4 over 1, up 4 over 1. It is cool. So how about in your notes, you turn with me to this page. This is page 12. Okay. So if we have a line that's written in slope intercept form, we can use those two pieces of information and very quickly graph our line. So y equals mx plus b. This is slope intercept form. We know that m already stands for what? Okay. And we talked about how that number was affecting how the slope of our line. Okay. Now, I'm going to highlight this every time in yellow. Okay. Now, this plus b, that is telling us, well, you guys kind of figured that out for me, didn't you? What did you figure out that plus number represented? Okay, RY intercept. I know what you're talking about, but don't do it. Oh, you said you might get lunch detention if something happens. So I said, don't do it. Gotcha. What you're going to do, you are going to take your slope intercept form, y equals mx plus b. You're going to identify the slope. You're going to identify the y-intercept. To graph the line, instead of plugging in numbers to make a table like we did in our warm-up, what you're going to do is you're going to graph the y-intercept. So you're going to go to the y-axis. You're going to graph the y-intercept. And then we're going to count the slope. Rise over run. Rise over run. Okay? I want you to make two more points on your graph besides the y-intercept. So you're going to count the slope twice for me. Okay, just to make sure we make a line. Okay. Then we're going to use a ruler to draw our line. Okay. Now, these rulers are used for graphing lines. They are not used for anything else. All right, so we don't need the rulers yet. Put them down. Let's go to number 1. Okay, and I'm going to write y equals mx plus b. We need to identify m and b. All right. So which one is m? What number represents m? 2/3. Our slope is 2/3. Okay. And then our y-intercept is whatever that plus number is or minus. So I'm going to write that my y-intercept, our b, is +1. If you write 1, that's fine. I'm just kind of making a point. Okay. So b is our y-intercept. Here is the y-axis, and our line is getting intercepted at +1. So y-axis, +1 means we're going to go up 1. There's our +1. Okay, then it says, hey, we have a +2/3 slope. So we need to go up 2 over 3. So this is our rise over run. So from this point that we already have, you guys are going to like this. We're going to go up 2 and right 3. I do that in the orange. Up 2, right 3. And we're going to draw a point there. We're going to do it again. Up 2, right 3. And we're going to make another point. Rise over run. So I did my rise over run. Here was my y-intercept. I went rise 2, run 3. Here's my point. Rise 2, run 3. Here's my point. And now with your ruler, you can draw a beautiful straight line. What? If your points aren't lining up with your ruler, something's wrong. Okay. Okay, so let's look at number 2. So I'm just going to write above my line y equals mx plus b. The coefficient of x is m. In this case, what is that? 4/3. So right now in our mind, we know that our line is going to rise or fall. It is going to rise because we have a positive slope. Okay. Now, the number added after the x is -2. So our y-intercept is -2. When I write y-int, that's y-intercept. I just don't want to write the whole word. Okay.
All the way up there.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So our y-intercept, since it's at -2, we're going to go to our y-axis and we're going to go to -2. The y-axis is catching our line at -2. Okay. Now our slope is rise over run, right? So I need to go up 1, 2, 3, 4 and over 1, 2, 3. Oops. And there's my next point. We're going to rise 1, 2, 3, 4 and over 1, 2, 3. And there is my next point. How much faster is this? Isn't this nice? Okay, so I want to give you an opportunity for you and your partner to talk through this next graph, number 3. Before I do that, can you tell me how this line's gonna look a little bit different? We have a negative slope, which means our line better fall. Okay, you and your partner, I'm gonna give you about 60 seconds to come up with this line.
Pay attention.
I've never had long ones. Just no, because it's right over run. So like if you're gonna go up, you need to go left. So it's 1 and then 2.
Wait, is it falling or going up? Or down?
Wait, no, just like that.
Or
Yeah.
just like that?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And this?
Which one is this, right?
She said, right?
So if you're gonna go down,
Okay.
because we want it to fall. Who said Miss Holman is this right? So that means it's right. And we want it to be fall. You could ask, or you could go down. Stop. You're great. Okay, so I'm getting some really good questions, and some of you are sort of getting some good feedback for yourself. All right. If we have y equals mx plus b, I feel really good about you identifying that our slope is -1/2 and our y-intercept is -4. Okay, so slope. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, the y-axis is intercepting our line. It's catching it at -4. Now, you told me we had a negative slope. What does that mean about our line? Is it going to rise or fall? Fall. So some of you learned this the hard way. Okay. Rise over run. 1/2, but we need to fall. So if you go up 1, you would need to go left 2. If you go down 1, you would need to go right 2. You need to do your rise over run so that your line falls. So some of you found me these 2 points right there. Some of you went down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2. Some of you in green went up 1, left 2, up 1, left 2. It doesn't matter. They're on the same line. Okay. You just need to make sure that your rise over run makes that line fall. Okay. He's learned something. All right, let's talk about number 4. And then we're going to go to the next page here soon. I want to talk about number 4. Because we have an integer, y equals mx plus b. What is our slope in this one? -3, and our y-intercept is 7. Okay. Now, when we go to plot 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, there it is. Now, rise over run. I have an integer. When that happens, it's going to be a good idea for you to put it over 1 so that you can see your rise and your run. Okay. Is this line going to rise or fall? Fall. So when I do my rise over run, I don't think I want to go up because I'm going to run out of graph. So if I go down 1, 2, 3, which way do I need to go to 1? We need to go to the right so that our line is going to fall down 1, 2, 3, right 1. You need those 2 points. Now, every once in a while, I like to throw a curveball. No, I was just trying to decide if I wanted to do something. Look at number 13. Ooh, what do you notice about number 13? What? Oh, it is not in the right order. We need to rearrange this to where we have y equals our mx needs to come first. What is the coefficient for x? Thank you, negative 1/3 x. And then is that 5 a positive or a negative? Positive, so we would need to write +5 on that. Now I want you to graph that for me. Now that we have this rearranged, so y equals negative 1/3 x plus 5, I want you to graph it. I want you to think about, is this going to rise or is it going to fall?
Right there.
Yep. You want it to fall because it's negative. So if you're going down, then you go to the right. Let it'll fall. Yeah, that looks good. All right. So it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is our y-intercept. Now you can either go down 1 and right 3, or up 1 and left 3. It doesn't matter as long as you're going rise over run, 1 and then 3, and you're making sure your line falls from left to right. Okay, grab an expo marker.